children, welcome back to the class. Hope all are fine. Yeah, we'll be back to the class. All of you open your textbooks. We have seen the major landforms, mountains, plateaus. Now next class is plains. What is a plain? Okay, plain. A plain is a flat surface. What is a plain? A plain is a flat surface. A plain is a flat and low-lying land surface. A plain is a flat surface. This is a plain. It is a low-lying land surface. These are called, what are these called? Lowlands. What are these called? Lowlands. These are called lowlands. Yes. They can be level or slightly hilly. These can be level or also very slight hilly. Not like a mountains or plateaus. These are very flat or slight hilly areas. The slope of land is very gentle. Plains may be found by deposition of sand and silt by rivers, as in the case of northern plains of India. Rivers carry sand and silt with them. Rivers carry, I told you before, rivers carry sand and silt by them. These forms plain, very flat area, nothing but called as lowlands, and these lowlands are called plains. Okay children? Rivers carry sand and silt with them. When the rivers slow down, these materials are deposited on the banks. Plains are formed by these deposits. Some plains are the interior of the continents, while others are near to the sea coast. Some are interior and while others are near the sea coast. Plains are more thickly populated than mountains and plateaus. Yes, they are thickly populated. Why they are thickly populated? Many of the people can live in this place because they can cultivate vegetation, they will have more quantity of water and vegetation is well here and they will be having more facilities to live here. So they are thickly populated. They cannot live on plateaus or hilly areas. They cannot live on mountains because they cannot have any irrigation facilities. They don't have any facilities there to live there. So in plains, they can live. They are thickly populated. Importance of the plains. Plains have fertile soil which is suitable for agriculture. The soil is very fertile. So that soil is very suitable for agriculture. Most ancient civilizations came up on the banks of rivers on the plains. Many civilization people have come on the banks of the rivers on the plains. Most big cities and towns are located in the plains. Yes, most big cities and towns are also located in the plains. It is easier to construct roads, railways, aerodromes and canals in the plains. So, in the plains, it is very thickly populated. So only because, so this is called as lowlands area. Coming to the deserts. Next one is deserts. Deserts are land areas that receive very little rainfall. Deserts are land areas that receive very little rainfall. What are deserts? Where we have deserts? Deserts we have in Rajasthan. What are main deserts? Sahara Desert, Kalahari Desert. What are those? Sahara Desert. Kalahari Desert. These are the main deserts. Sahara Desert, Kalahari Desert. These are the main deserts. Deserts are land areas, and in desert areas it receives very little rainfall. These areas have very dry climate. Deserts are very hot and they are also very cold at nights. They have frequent dust storms. They also have dust storms. See, dust storm means sand will be rounding, no? Those are called dust storms. Hills of sand called sand dunes. So, hills of sand called sand dunes. Little vegetation due to less rainfall. So, they have little vegetation due to less rainfall. Most deserts are located on west side of continents. Most of the deserts are located on the west side of continents and on the leeward side of mountains. On the west side of the continents and also on the leeward side of the mountains. Some examples of deserts are the Sahara Desert and Kalahari Desert in Africa. The Great Sandy Desert and Great Victoria Desert in Australia. The Thar Desert and the Arabian Desert in Asia. The Atacama Desert and Patagonian Desert in South America. These are the examples of the desert. And here in desert, the ship of the desert, camel is called as the ship of the desert. Camel is called as the ship of the desert. Why it is called as the ship of the desert? Because in that place, only this animal can be survived. Why? Because it will be having long legs, and even though the camel takes water at one time and it can store water in its body for a long more days. So only this animal can survive in deserts and it can carry more loads of luggage in deserts. Okay children? So because of that, camel is called as the ship of the desert. Okay? Next topic, coming to rivers. Rivers are natural channels that carry rainwater or water. Rivers are natural channels. It carries rainwater or water from melted ice and snow from mountains. There are natural channels. It carries rainwater or water from the melted ice from mountains to plains, lakes and seas. These channels start as streams and join together to form a river. See, from mountains it will be melted and it carries rainwater from melted ice to form a river. Okay, those are called rivers. And these rivers flow and form a plain from the place of origin to its mouth. From place of origin to its mouth. A river passes through 3 stages. The river will be passing through 3 stages. It will be passing through 3 stages. The upper or the end course. What is the upper stage? Most rivers originate in the mountains. The upper or the younger course, it originates from the mountains. Here, the speed of the river is very high. See, from where the river is originating, there the speed will be very high. The river cuts a deep, a narrow channel in the mountains. Some features of the upper course are canyons, waterfalls and rapids. So, from where it cuts, that is called canyons, waterfalls and rapids. And the uppers or younger course, there the river fall will be very high. Coming to the middle or the mature course, the middle course of the river begins when it leaves the mountains and enters the plains. In the middle course, it is ready to enter to the plains. Here, the valley widens. So, it widens. From the mountains when it falls, see, if you see from the mountains, when the river falls, see how heavy it will be? It will be very high. So, when it falls, it widens. Okay? It widens. So, how does the water fall? It What we call it as? Mendas. We call it as Mendas. River Ganga, for example, has a Menda course between Prayaga and Varanasi. So the lower or the old course, in its lower course, the river joins a bigger water body such as a sea. In this course, the speed of the river is very, very slow. So when it is going on widening, the speed of the river will be still slow. The river deposits the silt. It carries near the mouth, forming a triangular shaped land called delta. How it forms? It forms a triangular shape called delta. What it is called? Delta. It is called as a delta. The largest delta in the world is formed by the Ganga and the Brahmaputra rivers before they join the Bay of Bengal. The largest delta is called the Brahmaputra before it joins the Bay of Bengal. So we have to find out its name. Find out its name, children. Okay, in the next session I'll ask you. Hope you have understood the deserts, plains and rivers. So in the rivers we will have three stages. I told you know, the upper or the end course, the middle or the mature course, the lower or the old course. In the river, when it is high, it will be very high in the starting, coming to the widest. So when it is coming down, it widens in the plains, and still when it coming down, it becomes as a triangular shape where it is called as a delta, and it decreases when it is coming down to form a delta as a triangular shape. Hope you have understood the major landforms. Okay, you have enjoyed this session, I hope so. All of you read the lesson once again, and we'll be back in the next session. Bye bye all of you. Take care.